Hi, I'm Sean Worthington, and I'm the lead scientist at the CloudCoin Consortium. And today I'm going to be talking about currencies, or money, and what is the perfect monetary system. This is a philosophical question. It deals in normative ethics, where we're trying to figure out what is good money, what is bad money, is there such a thing as evil money? And the answer is yes, there is a perfect monetary system. And I'm going to describe how we came to that conclusion. The CloudCoin Consortium figured out that money is data and a monetary system is an information system. There's a lot of work that has been done in figuring out what is good data and what are good information systems. And so to figure out what is the best money and the best monetary system, we can take all that we've learned in information systems and computer science and apply that to economics. So data has two types of integrity. One type is physical integrity, and the other type is logical integrity. And money should have the same thing. Money should have physical integrity, and money should have logical integrity. When we take a look at physical integrity, it's pretty simple. We're talking about, does the money appear? Does it disappear? Is it corrupted? That's the main thing about physical integrity. When we get into logical integrity, it's a little bit more complicated. We get into concepts such as referential integrity, entity integrity, domain integrity, and some other types of integrity that are our preferences, such as we want it to be highly available, we want it to be scalable, we want it to be able to transfer at any time of the day, time of the night, and we want it to be liquid and convertible into other things. So let's talk about physical integrity. So this is probably the most important thing about money, and that is that it has physical integrity. And the most important type of physical integrity is the ability to withstand counterfeits. And so in the past, we have based our systems on money that cannot be counterfeited easily. And so we might have a system based on silver coins, and the silver coins keep track of who's making what, who's owed what, but it's still possible to counterfeit silver coins in that you can go out and mine them. And so, for example, during the Spanish inflation, I think it was in the 1650s, Spain had discovered all kinds of silver and gold in the New World, and they brought it over by the tons to Europe. And what it did is it caused the prices of things to go up. And this actually benefited the people that already were rich or already had land or assets. But the wage earners and those that had a salary, well, their salaries and wages could not keep up with the price inflation. People made decisions that were bad, and in general, surprisingly, the economy got worse. So instead of having all the silver and everybody becoming richer and everybody having more stuff, it was actually the opposite. People became poorer because of this price inflation. So silver, a monetary system based on a metal like silver or gold, is good because it's difficult to counterfeit the coins or the money, but it's still possible. With paper-based systems, of course, you have governments that control those. Quite often they print them up. I mean, they print them up all the time. There's an infinite supply of them, and they can make more and more and more. And depending on how many they make, well, that could destroy the entire monetary system and lead to hyperinflation. We see that happening in countries around the world, including Zimbabwe and Venezuela right now. So counterfeiting is a bad thing. With digital currencies such as Bitcoin, you have it so that people can mine Bitcoins. The supply of Bitcoins can grow. That is also counterfeiting. That's the way that they pay for the infrastructure with Bitcoin, is they allow people, the miners, to mine them. They run the server systems, and they are rewarded by getting those new Bitcoins. Other digital currencies like Ethereum, they can print up as many as they want, and so that is also very inflationary. And I would predict that currency could possibly crash like a Hindenburg, the Ethereum. And then you have CloudCoin, our currency, and it has a fixed amount. So it's got an amount that never increases and it never grows. So what happens with CloudCoin is we made the money first, and then we built this RAIDA structure, and we put the money in the RAIDA structure, and now it can't be changed. So it's stuck in there. There's also the issue of losing money. So money loss is also a problem. With CloudCoin, you cannot lose the money permanently. With Bitcoin, you can lose it. With gold and silver, of course, you can lose it. This is also bad for the economy because people that should be rewarded and should have power in the economy are denied that power because of simple loss. So that's physical integrity, at least the most part of it. Then we can take a look at the logical integrity. So I'm just going to go through the logical integrity pretty fast, but the first one is referential integrity, and not all currencies have this, but some of them do. And so when you have like silver certificates, this is a piece of paper that represents some kind of silver that's in some bank somewhere. The silver certificate is a reference. It's data that references another piece of data, and sometimes that integrity is lost. That means that I might have, or there might be 1 million silver certificates in circulation. Each of these certificates represents 1 ounce of silver, but when we actually look in the vault, there's only half that amount. And so the amount of certificates doesn't jive with what's actually in the vault, and that means that that currency does not have referential integrity. And this can also happen with our dollars. So when we go to the bank, we see zeros and ones, we see numbers. Those numbers actually reference paper money. And so that paper money might not be there. It's possible that somebody could make a mistake and just change a number. The number says you have money, but you don't actually have money. It doesn't jive. However, if your currency does not reference another currency, then it will not have to worry about referential integrity. That problem will be solved. So for gold and silver, if you just got the coins, there's no referential integrity there. You have them. Same thing with cloud coins. Cloud coins do not refer to anything. You have them. Same thing with Bitcoin. No worries about referential integrity. Another type of integrity is called entity integrity, and this is a big issue for money today. And that is, you go to the store, you want to buy something, you swipe your card, and it says access denied, but it's not denied because you don't have money in your account. It's denied because they don't think or don't know you have money. Maybe they think that your card was captured by a hacker, and they can't tell that you are the one that actually owns the money. Entity integrity will want to make sure that whoever has the money actually is the owner of the money. You've heard of identity theft. Identity theft is a breakdown of entity integrity. We give somebody money thinking that they are who they say they are, and that they actually have the money, but they don't actually have the money because they're not who they say they are. So this can happen in theft, and we want a currency that we know who owns it. With gold and silver, we have a rule, and the rule is if it's in your pocket, you own it. However, there still is a chance that you might have stolen it. But with cloud coins, if you know the currency, which means you know or you have all of the authenticity numbers, then you are the owner. With Bitcoins, you have a wallet, and you have in theory at least, you have a key, and you can access the blockchain, and you can trade currency. Often, though, people will give their keys away to other third parties, and then we get this entity problem, this entity integrity, where do I actually own the money, or does the people that have the key own the money? This is done because Bitcoin is not scalable, and so Bitcoin does have some entity integrity problems. Another type of integrity that money has to have, and that's domain integrity. So if I have a gold standard in which I say gold is worth this much silver and silver is worth this much copper, and we set that in rules or laws, but the prices actually change, but we're going to try to force them to work in some kind of a standard, that's where we lose domain integrity. So domain integrity means that we have data that or money that is all the same, that all fits in the same units. So whenever we have gold, silver, copper, different types of money that their value might float up and down, but we try to force them to be some kind of value, that's where we're going to have problems. We also have a bunch of user-defined preferences. We would like it so that whenever we go to spend money, it's there. So we can spend money anytime. We also want to be able to spend money across the planet digitally. So we want to be able to wake up at 2 a.m. and buy something on the other side of the planet, in China, say. We would like it so that it takes only milliseconds to trade. So in these kind of things, CloudCoin dominates all others. It's very good for retail, it's very fast, and it's available all the time. Another type of integrity, is it an anonymous? Can I buy and sell things without people knowing that I'm buying and selling things? And it might sound at first like, hey, we should have the government or some authority check all of our purchases to make sure that we're not buying anything bad and that everybody's doing the right thing. But that's not just the simple part of it. Imagine that we go to buy something at the grocery store and everybody in the world gets to know what we bought. And we buy this, for example, this laundry detergent that we want to buy, and everybody knows that we bought it, and they might not like it, and they might come to our house and say, you bought the wrong detergent. That detergent's not environmentally friendly. Or that shoes that you bought, that was done by people that were being exploited, and you should have bought American products. Those poor Jamaicans are making those shoes and they're being exploited. So there's a lot of, and not only that, but your own family members. You might want to buy something, and if your spouse finds out about it, they'll be angry. We need to buy things and buy them in private. We need to do that so that we make the most economical decisions. So the purpose of money is to help human beings economize. And we can't do that if we're making bad decisions in order to gain some kind of social status. So that could actually bring down society. So we need privacy. With cloud coins, it is 100% private. It could be the most anonymous monetary system ever created in humanity. With Bitcoins, there's a public ledger and everything is tracked forever. And so that's not very private, except that we got some pseudo anonymousness in the system, in that instead of putting our names on the ledger, we put an account number. But if someone can link that account number to you, which they have done and they do all the time, then in fact, it's not anonymous at all. It's the exact opposite. It tells them exactly what you're doing. And so that is not a good benefit, in my opinion, for the perfect currency. There's some other things like how expensive is it to maintain the infrastructure? And if we take a look at, say, the Federal Reserve System, they're going to make paper or they're going to make coins, and they've got to maintain that, and they got to produce those and make those, and there's expenses involved with that. But with digital currencies, we have to worry about servers, we have to worry about electricity. Data actually takes space, and so the public ledger actually takes a lot of space because it's growing and growing. I think it's over 120 gigabytes right now. It takes like 3 days to download, and you have to have a big hard drive, because if you don't, it's just not going to fit on there. And we've got all these miners that have these warehouses full of servers, and they're burning electricity doing this encryption, and it's very expensive to run that kind of thing. With CloudCoin, we have the RAIDA technology, and the RAIDA technology disperses servers all over the world, but the servers are all responsible for a very small bit of the data, and so we can have very inexpensive servers do that work. They don't take up space, they don't take electricity. It's very economical, you could even say good for the environment in comparison to Bitcoin. So that is another issue. We talk about scalability. So scalability means what happens when you have half the world's population using it? Does it slow down? And with things like Bitcoin, the answer is absolutely yes. So they have a technology in which there's all these servers, thousands of them, and they all have to converge. And this convergence time, the time it takes to confirm that a transaction has actually taken place, has grown and grown and grown. I think it's like 43 minutes at the minimum these days. And we will see that grow as more and more people start to use the Bitcoin. The more popular it becomes, the more doomed it is. Now with the RAIDA, we can do something called, we start by striping the data so they go to Sentinel servers, which are kind of like the root servers of the DNS system. And then the Sentinels can then shard it into hundreds of servers behind them so that they can distribute the load. All right, well, I think that's all I'm going to talk about today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers. I'm going to do these blogs every week. So I appreciate you listening, and hopefully I'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.